What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are out and about checking on some properties. I've actually been checking on properties all morning, but it has been absolutely crazy for the past 2 weeks, and we'll go a little bit more in depth when we get over to this one. Right now we're going to Jefferson. They're pressure washing the outside, getting it prepped and ready to paint, so that's exciting. But there's been kind of a dead still with each of our projects, from people getting sick to not showing up to materials not coming in, you know, windows being another month out, you name it. We've kind of ran into those problems over the past 2 weeks. So if you've been watching the videos, you've noticed not too many updates have actually been happening. Now there's been a little bit of movement, so any movement's good movement, but not exactly how we want it. But in the meantime, we've been doing a lot of real estate business. So for anybody new to the channel, I am actually a real estate agent, and I am also an investor. So this channel is mostly focused on investments, but I want everyone to know, because this not only goes out to YouTube, you know, to other platforms that are kind of all over the country, all over the world, but also here in my local area. So if you're watching these and you're just wanting to buy a house, or if you're wanting to sell a house, I'm still the guy to call, because we are actively servicing clients. I don't typically put too much of that on my social media, because so many people they're not comfortable around a camera, and so it is what it is. So don't let this fool you. I'm still actively servicing my clients. I'm still rocking and rolling, but we'll see in a second, because we're on our way to Jefferson. All right, so we are in Jefferson. Like I said, we're not going to spend too much time on each of these. We're just going to give you a quick update, talk about a few things here and there. Power wash is going outside, which is why we're inside. So we'll do you some quick B-roll of, you know, what it's looking like as we're pressure washing it. We did a quick, I don't know if I uploaded or not. I think I did. But we did a quick kind of walkthrough when it was trashed. We got it demoed now. We're going to turn this into a room. And then, but all that aside, we'll come check out the real demo that we just did that has been pretty extensive, that we had to cut out some, we're going to cut out some joists, all the subfloor, absolutely everything in here. Let's see if I can do this without falling. So in here, we had some plumbing issues, we had cabinet issues, we had all this stuff. We had no intentions of ripping out cabinets, but as you can tell, we've ripped out cabinets. We're replacing joists. All the plumbing underneath is going to get replaced. You name it, it's going to have to be done. Which luckily, the roof color ended up being wrong, and so we got a little bit of a discount. So it turned out to be a wash. So it still fits in the budget to be able to do all this, which is extremely good. But right before we closed, if you remember last time I talked to y'all guys, there was some termite damage that was exposed here, and so with us having to rip it out, it turned out to be a really good thing. So that's the update for Jefferson. We're gonna jump back in the truck. I'll show you some quick B-roll of the outside before we head out, and we are gonna go to Matthews. Perfect, sounds good, I appreciate it. All right, bye. Good call. Are you videoing? Mm-hmm. Good. That was a good call. Basically, somebody locally bought a door shop, or going to sell it, or liquidating everything for the space. And so that was a guy that works with me. I don't want to say works for me, because he doesn't work for me. He does jobs for me. They're wanting to liquidate, and so he gave me an option to buy all the doors. But that's beside the point. We're on our way to Matthews real quick, and we're actually not too far from it. But I kind of wanted to take a few seconds here, and I know I've said it in previous videos, but it's crazy, and not to get too cheesy or cliche, you know, when it comes to, you know, motivational stuff, because I know a lot of people don't want to dive too much into that, but it's insane on what you can accomplish when you get tunnel vision and decide to really go for it and learn the ins and outs of certain niches or industries, or whatever word you want to call it, when it comes to building that life by design, really, you know, having a business for yourself and scaling it and learning. And like I was saying earlier in this video, there was a lot of stopping points that I'm still learning on how to be more efficient and more, you know, timely and stuff. But, you know, there's that saying that I always love to say to people, and it goes like this. It's, you know, what is it? It's the amount of stress that you're willing to take is in direct correlation with the amount of money that you're wanting to make. So don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to get out there and ask questions. You know, there's this other saying that some people kind of say it's a negative, but not really. You know, only take advice from the people who have and hold the things that you want. You know, if you want to make $1 million bucks, you can't go ask somebody who makes $30,000, $40,000 a year how to make $1 million bucks. There's nothing wrong with people who make $30,000, $40,000 a year, but if that doesn't align with what you're wanting to accomplish, it is kind of silly to take advice from these people. Now, if you want to make $30,000, $40,000 a year, ask those questions. Do that. Do what you need to do. So I want to throw it in there real quick. We just showed up to Matthews. This is actually going to be a big transformation from the last time we saw it. So we're going to run it here real quick, give a quick update, and on to the next. So we're in Matthews now. Like I said, I keep on saying it, and please excuse my redundancy. I'm still trying to get used to this YouTube channel, but we're in Matthews. This room, as Alex just said, didn't exist up until this week. And so now we have sheetrock going on the walls, stuff's going on, people are working, which is probably what you hear, which is fine, but we're just wanting to give you some quick updates, some motivational tips on to really just get going and doing whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And so we'll show you a little bit around, we'll do some more B-roll of this one, and then we'll just go on to the next. So check this one out. This is going to be the master, this is a 3-bed, 1-bath. Like I said in the other videos, we were going to put a master suite and extend this out, but for this area, for what it costs to build right now, it would be a wash and it would extend the time by more than what we were wanting to. So it didn't really make sense to build that, so we decided to stick with the 3-bed, 1-bath. Sheetrock's going on right now, as you can tell. They're here working and taping and getting it all situated. Directly behind you, don't fall in that hole, there is a bathroom that you're standing in. That obviously is going to need a lot of work. And then once he gets a couple shots of that, we'll show you what we had to do in this room. This room turned out pretty small, but it is what it is. We had to put a closet in here, an 18 by 24 closet, because of, to make it a room. It didn't have a closet, so we had to make it a formal a room, you know, per appraisal. And so we built this closet out. Windows are still yet to be here, so we're waiting on those. They've been like 2 months out. But that's the update for Matthews. We got a roof on, we got electrical done, we got sheetrock on the walls. Next thing you know, we're going to be getting the outside prepped and ready to paint, kind of like you just saw on Jefferson. That's going to be next, so we got the water walker rolling. Plumbing is going to be happening on Jefferson as well as Matthews, and we're going to go from there. So let's go to the next one. Alright, so we are back at Overheal, and y'all seen a lot of this one. And this was actually moved a lot slower than we originally anticipated for many reasons. One, people were getting sick, they couldn't work, they wouldn't show up. The typical things that happen kind of in this world. And of course, I want to be as transparent as possible, because a lot of people on YouTube and everywhere else claim that flipping houses is just sunshine and rainbows and so much money and all these things, but that's really not the case. So on this one, we actually had a squatter that had, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube because it may get banned, but let's just say they were having a very good time in this house, and it turned out to be one of the workers that were doing some of the stuff on the exterior. Got that handled, so we're back on track. We're still waiting on windows, but we've got this place painted, we've got fixtures hung, we've got these cracks and stuff there, and the sheetrock all fixed up. Scotty's being a creep out in the background. And so you can kind of see a little bit of the updates that we've done. We have the electrician here now hanging some stuff. We still gotta get chandeliers, cabinets. Those were actually supposed to be here like 3 weeks ago, but the guy that happened to be squatting was the one that was supposed to be picking them up, and of course he would rather sleep here than go pick up the cabinet. So that happened, but here we are. So this is gonna be, I guess, the end of the video of all the updates. We haven't really started on Warner, which is another one that you may have seen in some of the other videos that we haven't really got to yet because of things have slowed down. So we really wanted to have a lot of focused attention on the 3 that we've seen today, so we can really crank these out, get them done, and go out. So with that being said, we're gonna have to cut this off because I'm gonna have to talk to these guys. If you've watched this far, you know what you gotta do. You gotta like, you gotta subscribe. If you wanna be notified, hit that bell, come back and see us, and we'll see you next week.